Hi, my name is Timothy Mitchell, and there are important trends for 2024. By my count, 6 of them, and I'd like to communicate those to you so you're aware of them, and hopefully they will help you in your business. Number 1, dye sublimation. Now, dye sublimation that I'm talking about is primarily for grand format, large format, and trade show. But dye sublimation also applies to decor as well as apparel. I don't think there's really a ceiling on dye sublimation. And if you're not actively using dye sublimation now, please consider it. Sublimation is absolutely huge. The advantages are clear. It looks absolutely gorgeous, whether it's in a frontlit or a backlit application. It's relatively easy to print, provided you have the right equipment and you know what to do, as well as having the right fabrics. Number 3, it looks great and it's sustainable and green and environmentally friendly. In many cases, the yarns are already recycled. So this is an environmentally friendly technology that people really like. Also with dye sublimation, you get the advantages of light, and that means easy to ship. It's inexpensive. You can take the print, fold it, put it in a small box, and away it goes. Then when the customer gets it, it's easy to install. It's a gasket system. It's almost like putting in a fitted sheet. Corner, 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 tuck it down. Those are the advantages of dye sublimation, and they're substantial. There's also no odor whatsoever, and as I mentioned, the quality on it versus almost anything else is just extraordinary. So look for more dye sublimation. I think that's a huge trend. I don't think I'm saying anything remarkable here, but it is something to follow. Now, directly linked with dye sublimation, you're going to see big advances in the way that the printing is done. Traditionally, what sublimation, especially in large and grand format, is done is you use a process where you transfer, you print to the paper. I think that that's going to change, and it's already changed largely in Europe. You're going to see more and more people printing directly. Direct print is here to stay, and it makes things very easy. I'll give you an example. The 340i Plus from EFI is a direct print printer. Now you can do transfer as well, but its real effectiveness is at direct printing. It also has inline fixation and calendaring. So you load the material in the back, you take it off the front, and it's completely done. You don't have to move it to some secondary device. That's a big advantage. It's a single-step workflow. Now you have to have the right fabric. In our case, we recommend U fabric. U fabric is very specifically designed to be effective with direct printing because it has a treatment built into it, and a very high quality one, to ensure that you're always going to get a beautiful print with no ink migration or coalescence. Combined with the EFI and the U fabric, now you're going to see an ease of use that then has to go to finishing equipment. And I think finishing equipment is also something that's overlooked. Right now you have to use sewing, and it's hard to find sewers. Well, companies like Miller and Matic have stepped up and said, you know what? We can find regular production people and show them how to use our machine, and it's easy to use, and you don't have to have the skill set of a sewer, because now you can use production people to do it. That's an advantage in the finishing, which has always been a bit of an obstacle. So direct print for the printing, finishing done automatic with regular production people. I think those are 2 developments and advantages you're going to see in this environment, and that's trend number 2. Now, trend number 3, I think, is UV. UV is going to be a huge technology. It's going to continue to grow. It will be the dominant ink technology right there with dye sublimation. UV technology is ideal on boards, but you can print rolls at this point. The LED really changed UV technology. Once you have LED lamps, now you have almost the life of the printer lamp, you have no consumables, and you have no heat. That's a huge advantage. And now all of the major printing companies are using UV technology for printing with LED. And that's going to continue to grow, and that's going to continue to be a really big deal. Now, some of the big advantages with UV is the scratch resistance is excellent. I mean, it's outstanding. And that's a big advantage for UV. It also has an excellent white ink. The flexibility of the inks continue to develop, and the color gamut has come a long way with the arrival of LED. At this point, you can print rolls, you can print boards, there's a wide selection of media, and the cool thing is because it's such a dominant technology, the media companies all have a very large offering for it. And that offering is every type of media at very competitive prices. So you're getting the best selection of medias, and you're getting them at the most aggressive price. For those reasons, I think UV is going to continue to grow. I see no end. You'll see more developments in the ink technology. Case in point, Canon came out with a Colorado that has a completely new UV gel ink. UV gel ink is a UV ink development, and it won't be the first. Many others will follow. So keep an eye on UV, because that's really going to be I think the sweet spot of technological advance. So you have a UV printer, now you need things to print on. I've always been a little skeptical of the green and sustainable media for a couple reasons, because I have two criteria that it has to meet for me to use it. Number one, it must perform as well as a standard or traditional product. I'm not willing to take an inferior product and sell it under the name of sustainable. It has to perform as well as the regular product. And number two, the price has to be roughly within 10%. I don't want to buy a product that has a huge premium price tag, because in most cases, my customers don't want to pay for it. And it makes it very difficult to sell. And if you have an inferior product with a high premium price tag, it's completely untouchable. And that's been a bit of the curse of the industry. Well, that's changed. Increasingly, you're seeing products now that are PVC free or recyclable or have a large recyclable content, and they perform just as well as the original product, and they're within $10 or $20 a roll difference. Case in point, Lintec. Lintec makes this recycled optically clear film, and it looks fantastic. And it prints beautiful on UV printers. So Lintec optically clear recycled performs just as well as traditional Lintec. It's within about $10, $20 a roll of the original Lintec, if not the same, and it works beautiful on all the UV technology. So you're getting all of the best products lined up in one space. In the end would be a Green Guard certified, perfect print, very high white saturation with a clear, and the clear is recyclable. So you can tell that whole story to your customers. I think PVC-free material is here to stay. There's substantial advances there, and I think most of the stuff I'm seeing now meets my criteria. Trend number 5, I think you're going to see an increase in desktop and small home-based business type printers. For example, little desktop print and cut eco-solvents, those are huge. And people, I call it the Etsy market. You all know the Etsy market. Well, the Etsy market is a real market, and it's large and it's growing because a lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are doing this as a side thing. A lot of people are doing this just because they've retired, or they've retired a little earlier. They wanted to open their own business and they don't have a lot of space. It doesn't mean they can't be creative. If you took a small like Mamaki specialty UV printer and then you combine that with like a 20-inch small eco-solvent print and cut, you have both of them on a desktop. They take up almost no space. They're both quite portable, so you could take them to special events and things like that. And they're affordable. They're easy to use. The workflow at this point is simply simple. There's nothing complicated about it. It's a consumer-based workflow rather than a specialist-based workflow. The software walks you right through it. Everything is intuitive. You get excellent results. And then you could take that on the road if you want to. That's going to be a big and growing market because you can get a lot done in a very small amount of space. And then you're going to see other businesses diversify that have foot traffic. They have customers. They're just going to offer new products. And these small little desktop print and cut operations, as well as specialty UV, those are going to grow and in that smaller Etsy market. Lastly, I think there's going to be a big growth in both direct to film and direct to garment. Direct to film really took the whole country by storm the last few years, but there's still a few refinements I'm looking for. For example, I want a very integrated shaker unit. I want that to be pretty sophisticated because I don't want the powder or the fumes out into my space. That's coming. You're seeing more and more sophisticated shaker operations connected to the successful printers. You're also going to start seeing powderless DTF, and that's pretty cool. That's on the horizon, and some very large players like DuPont, for example, have stepped into that space. Now, direct-to-film is the new kid on the block. Direct-to-garment's been here for a while, but there were two big limitations with direct-to-garment. One, it struggles with polyesters, so really you have to print on cotton. Now, there's developments in direct-to-garment, for example, the new Rico direct-to-garment, where they've been successful printing to polyester and polyester blends just as well as cotton. So that's a big hurdle that's been overcome, and I would expect to see more of that in the industry. The other cool thing that Rico direct-to-garment did is they put the droplets right in line with the treatment like a print head. It runs and puts the drop right where you're going to print your ink, so therefore the entire treatment process is integrated, it's in line, and it's exactly where you need the ink to drop, not all over the shirt. And it makes it exactly quantifiable. So you're putting exactly the right amount down that you need for this particular t-shirt. So direct-to-garment is by no means finished. That's going to respond to the challenge of direct-to-film, and you know who benefits the most? Yeah, you, the consumer. There's going to be an increase in efficiency and sophistication of direct-to-film, and there's going to be a continued development in direct-to-garment, and the two together are going to bring down prices and increase quality, or that's my hope anyway. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Those are my 6 trends of 2024. Oh, there's one other trend this year that I forgot to mention. Me, I'm trending. I can trend, right? Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it, everybody, and have a wonderful 2024.